guest is Rebecca Sarr, a practitioner of quantum empathy technique, a fusion of science and a work on emotions. Rebecca has had her own personal awakening experience, and now she offers guidance using quantum empathy technique to lead others on a path of self-inquiry, self-discovery, and greater awareness. Rebecca, thank you for joining our conversation today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Rebecca, let's start with the first question, which is quantum empathy technique sounds pretty intriguing. Can you shed light on what it is?
Well, it's a healing modality that's based in, as sounds obvious, empathy. And so I personally see empathy as the foundation for some pretty important psychic phenomena in the healing field. And so I work with empathy to access my clients' conscious fields. And so everything comes through the heart. As healers, as highly sensitive people, as empaths, we all start with the heart. And so for me, tapping into somebody's field involves feeling what they're going through. And the reason that empathy becomes quantum, or when empathy becomes quantum, is when we can tap into the person's field beyond time and space, so beyond the 3D. And with my work, I can tap into people's past lives. I can tap into the quantum field. We can manifest our dreams. There's all sorts of spaces that we can go that are beyond the waking, walking every day. And it's actually so beautiful when we become masters of our empathy instead of letting our empathy overwhelm us. And this is a big part of what quantum empathy technique is about as well for the practitioners, because I believe that empathy is our birthright. Empathy is a skill, and it's part of our cognitive capacity as humans. But through the ages, this capacity has been demeaned, diminished, and as a result, we're so much in the mind, especially in the West, and it's all about, you know, the thoughts, thinking, reasoning, logic, and we've really left the emotions behind, and the body has almost become like a servant of the mind. And so quantum empathy technique is actually about reorganizing our conscious processes so that we're not only including the body and the mind as partners, but also the heart and the soul. And the heart is like the gateway to the soul. And once we enter through the heart space, through love, through empathy, through feeling, we can actually access the soul's journey and the soul's story. And that's where we come into, we can go into the Akashic records, we can go into childhood trauma, we can even access those who've passed, who are still in the person's field, because they have a love connection with that person. And so really the possibilities are endless. It's such a powerful technique, and such a return to our power as feeling people, as people who care about each other. So it's so out there, it's so woo, but it's also so simple and such a part of being human.
And what tools do you use to facilitate transformation in your clients using quantum empathy technique?
Yeah, sure. Well, I work with the voice mainly. And so I essentially, when I tap into a person's conscious field, I feel the energies through empathy, and then through the emotional cognitive processes, I translate it into words. And this we call, in everyday psych phenomena, we call it channeling. And so I work with the voice it's almost like a chicken or the egg question. So do I follow the person like a shepherd, or do I guide the person through my voice? essentially a person has a synesthetic experience during my sessions. So they could have auditory messages, they could have visions, they could have bodily sensations. It's a really beautiful experience where we open up the human sensorium. And so as they experience this, they could feel energy in the body. A lot of clients feel energy in the body, and then I'll be speaking that at the same time because I'm feeling what they're going through. And this kind of allows the client to go even more into an altered state. And so we almost create like a groundswell where we're encouraging each other to go deeper and deeper and layer after layer into our subconscious and into even our superconscious. It's really such a beautiful technique. And I also use music. So I work with music a lot. So music helps to create that resonance as well. And so I love the term resonance, and I work on the resonance principle, whereby we're actually entraining each other to reach a higher state of consciousness. And when the music is so beautiful, that's when we can begin to relax. So we put music on to begin to relax, and then I begin to channel, and then the process begins, and we take it from there.
Can you share an example of how your guidance has led to breakthrough experience for your client?
Yeah, sure. And so I would just mention that I mostly work online these days. So when I work with clients, clients are in their own home, and I encourage them to lie down, have pillows, get comfortable, and then we put the music on. So it's a very safe and serene experience. It's really beautiful, and it's amazing to see how energy work can be done by a distance. So for example, if I like tap your heart now, it's almost like you can feel my energy moving your heart there and clearing away some of, then bringing through that magic. And so this is just such a, phenomenal aspect of the magic of quantum empathy technique. And the breakthroughs I've had with clients are just beyond measure. I mean, I get messages daily from people thanking me for the experience. I could go into one story about a client who had a lump on his liver, and he came to me and he asked me, what's the meaning of this? It was when he was born, and so it was found to be benign, and he just gets it checked every now and then. But for his parents, it was very stressful. And so he asked me, and what's really interesting about this is how important intention is in this process. And so because we had a set of 3 sessions together, before that, we were going through his relationship breakup and this and that. And then when he sent me an email saying he'd like to delve deeper into this, suddenly that shifted the entire process. And he went into, as I was holding space for him, he went into this very vivid past life recollection and past death recollection, actually. And he remembered that, and I channeled through the information as he was having the visuals of his past life memories. I channeled through the information that he actually died with anger inside of him because he wasn't able to express his anger in that lifetime. And as I was speaking this, he was having a memory of being shot down as a fighter pilot. So he was in the SAS or in like an army military type of field of work, and he couldn't express his anger. And so that came over into this lifetime. It passed over into this lifetime as a kind of signature of his previous lifetime. And he intentionally, it was his karmic intent to be in a lifetime where he could express his anger, and the encouragement of the channeling, because I suppose if we look at it, I'm not only channeling his field, I'm also channeling the superconscious field. So which is the shared consciousness between him and myself. We could call it like our higher selves. And what was coming through that is that his karmic intent was to express his anger in this lifetime. And the encouragement was to do it through writing. And so when he felt the anger bubbling up inside of him, the encouragement was to write. And so this completely changed everything for him. And it was such a powerful session. And one of the most beautiful things about it is that we actually accessed all of this information by tapping into the intelligence of the liver, of his liver. And so when we consider this, we see that everything has consciousness. And so I have consciousness as a person, as a personality, but parts of my body also have consciousness. And I actually just finished a chakra series where we tapped into each of the 7 chakras, and each of them have their own conscious field. So the collective consciousness of the chakra is shared with the personal consciousness of the person, if that makes sense. And so there's an overlay between the consciousness of, let's say, the heart chakra. There's an overlay between the consciousness of the heart chakra, which is universal love, and the consciousness of the person, which is experiencing the heart chakra through being alive as a human in the body, in the flesh, and in the energy of human. So the last program that I just ran was so powerful for these beautiful souls that came through. And I've seen people, resolve marriages, as in get back together with their partners after their marriage looked like it was dead in the water. I've seen other people get divorced when they really needed to and they couldn't do it. That actually gave them the courage to do it. I've seen businesses skyrocket. I've seen people who couldn't sell their homes suddenly be able to buy homes and move on, and have beautiful lives with their families, where before it was like somewhat disastrous. I've seen so many changes, and it really does depend on a person's intention and what they want to get out of it. I've helped people get over substance abuse. I've helped people become healers. I've helped people become channels of higher consciousness. The list is really endless, and it's such an honor to be able to serve people's highest light and allow their soul intentions to manifest in this lifetime. It's magnificent. And I've actually been doing a bit of soul work myself, and I've come into the space where I'll be teaching quantum empathy technique. So I'm the founder of this modality, and I've founded it after more than 10 years of practice and research. I did my PhD in the anthropology of consciousness, and I kind of grew up through the capoeira field, which is an Afro-Brazilian martial art. And so my PhD looks at consciousness and capoeira and healing and awakening, and it really mirrored my own spiritual awakening experience. And I then went on a journey of healing and awakening myself with different modalities. And then my soul just really showed me and guided me how to step into a space of power with empathy and what that actually means for humanity. And so I'm now teaching quantum empathy technique, and I have a course coming up, and it's called Enlightenment. It's promising nothing less. And yeah, I'll be teaching that very soon, and I hope to have a whole host of practitioners who are really bringing their beautiful empathy into the world, mastering it, and changing the world for the better.
That was great. Thank you for all this inspiring information.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You must have a lot of different people coming to your courses and joining your sessions from different backgrounds, different countries, different races. So how would you personalize your coaching sessions to ensure they resonate with each person?
That's a beautiful question. I'm quite the traveler myself. And I have my husband is from West Africa, and my stepson is also from there. So I have a lot of diversity in my own life. So I'm very well versed in connecting with people from all walks of life. I've worked with various communities throughout my my career. I worked as a lawyer before I took on this mission as a healer, and my PhD work. And as you know, my PhD work was on capoeira, which is an Afro-Brazilian martial art. So I worked in Brazil, uh, Western Central Africa and Australia to complete this thesis. So I'm a global citizen. I've also worked in multicultural arts. So I'm a global citizen, and I honestly believe that it's my journey in this world that has really brought me into the quantum space that I'm in now, whereby I have the ability to empathize or walk with anybody who crosses my path, no matter what their experience is, no matter what they've been through, no matter where they come from. We have a common thread that knits us together, and that's love. And when we tap into that, and when we really connect through that, then we can create anything we choose. And so that's the power that I work with, and that's how we can all come together. And honestly, this is how you heal the world. This is it. So
Yes, so they say all love is all we need.
exactly. It's true.
Yeah, I also believe that. Yes. Well, Rebecca, it's all the answers that we need seem to be right in front of us, but we just don't seem to see them.
Absolutely. Because the beautiful thing about healing, see, I don't see a healer as somebody who comes along and fixes things for other people. I see the healer as a beautiful mirror. And it's actually the soul itself, the one who is being healed, who is seeking like almost the characters in their own story. And the healer pops up as someone that the person has called in, and provides that beautiful mirror so that the person can see themselves in their true beauty, in their true light. And so it's not as though we can't find the answers. We may not be able to find them from our three-dimensional space, from the ego space, but that our soul is kind of working overtime to find us that person that can stand in front of us and show us how beautiful we are.
Mhm. Amazing, truly. Thank you for that. I thank you for your time. Thank you for all these inspiring messages. I just wanted to add that Rebecca offers quantum empathy technique sessions on Sisu. And for all of you who is interested in this kind of work to change your life, change your energy, find out where the problem is, and get greater awareness about your life, we all invite you to check out Rebecca's offering and book a session with her. And I will leave a link to her store in the description of this video. So thank you once again, Rebecca. I hope you enjoyed conversation with me as much as I did.
I really did. It was such a pleasure and such an honor. Thank you for having me. And thank you to Sisu as well for sharing the magic.